So everything I mentioned so far is just a starter. This is the main course. Okay, this is the main course. So the main course is, there are a few things you need to know. But if there's one thing that you will know today is the Nordlys has the best IPL system in the world, really. And I stand by this statement, okay? It has the best IPL system in the world because I was going to show you why, and it's very easy. So that's the first thing to remember. If there's one thing to remember, it has the best IPL system in the world. If you want to remember more, in addition to the best IPL system in the world, it has an Nd:YAG handpiece. You already heard from me about some of the things that you can do with the Nd:YAG. Yes, onychomycosis, yes, acne, yes, rosacea, but certainly periorbital veins and all these vessels on the nose. Okay, so that starts to get very interesting. It has two fractional handpieces, non-ablative fractional handpieces. Fractional technology is very attractive to patients, to consumers, but also to doctors. Okay, and now we live in the modern world of social media, and patients tell us what to do and tell us their diagnosis and tell us what they want to treat. But fractional technology is here to stay, and it's growing. And there are two fractional handpieces. So once again, best IPL system in the world. You all need to learn this. Then, Nd:YAG handpiece. You know what you can do with the Nd:YAG, and it has two fractional handpieces. Four technologies. So this is the IPL, and I will explain what selective waveband technology means. These are the two fractional handpieces. So these are the wavelengths. So Frax 1550 means 1550 nanometer, that's the wavelength. Frax 1940 means 1940 nanometer, and you will see later why that matters. An Nd:YAG, which is always 1064, okay? And also the combination where you can use the IPL with the fractional handpiece, and that we call light and bright treatment. So you know when you go to a restaurant and you have a menu, you have your classics, your bolognese, your steak, but then you also have this little combo where you can get a bit of spaghetti and the scallops with it. So this is what we have. We have a combo now. We have a menu where you have the IPL, but you can also throw in a little bit of fractional. And it makes sense because one is targeting redness and brown, and the other one is giving us improvements in the texture and the quality of the skin. So we can use the fact that we have multiple handpieces to our advantage and use them in combination. These are the IPL handpieces, okay? That's the Nd:YAG, and these are the fractional handpieces. What I want you to look at is the highest, because that is the filter. An IPL is never going to be one wavelength. It's going to be a band of wavelengths. That's the principle of an IPL. But look at the highest level of filter. So 950, 950, 950, with the VL handpiece, which we call the 555 950, with the PR 750, with the pigmented lesion 400 720. Can you see that? Okay. Step one. All of these filters, none of them go into 1000 nanometer and above. None of them. So all these IPL handpieces, all the IPL handpieces of the Nordlys stop at 950 nanometer. Why is that important? That's actually very important. And this is the key message. Because all the other IPLs do not have the ability to cut off this long wavelengths from 1000 nanometer and above, okay? But this system allows for what's called dual filtration. So dual filtration means it filters out the wavelengths below the chosen handpiece. So if you choose the 555, anything below 555 is filtered out. All the IPLs do that. But the reason that this is dual filtration is it filters out anything above 950. Why is that important? Because we have three main chromophores in the skin: hemoglobin, melanin, and water. Water starts to be absorbed from 1000 nanometer and above. Okay, so when you have an IPL system that also has wavelengths in 1000, 1200, 1300 nanometer, what happens is a lot of that energy is wasted, is being absorbed by water, which generates heat. This is why it's painful. This is why it's hot. This is why they get blisters. Okay, but more importantly, when you have this energy, so the water is going to say, no, 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 I want part of that. Melanin is going to say, no, no, but I want part of that. And the hemoglobin say, well, I need my share. So you're dividing the fluids between the three chromophores. So you wasted a third almost a third of that fluence, you've wasted it on the water. But what we actually want is the fluence that we're using, let's say for diffuse redness, to be just simply absorbed by the vessels and not to be wasted on a little bit of heat for the water. So the reason why this is important in the best IPL system is there is no water absorption. There is no water absorption here with the IPL system because there is no absorption from 1000 nanometer and above. This means that what you get is highly selective and it's only going to be absorbed by melanin and hemoglobin and no water. Water is what brings the temperature up. This is why we use much lower fluences compared to the other IPLs. So if you are used to another IPL system, to treat something like diffuse redness, we need 18, 20 joules. Okay, why? Because a lot of that is wasted on the water. Here, 7.5, 8 joules. 7.5, 8 joules. And because there's no water absorption, there's no excessive generation of heat, we don't even need cooling. So this is why sometimes doctors struggle to grasp this concept of why no cooling? Well, why no cooling? Because there's no excessive heat. Okay? And why low fluence? Low fluence because the fluence that we're using is just all going to be absorbed by the tissue targets and not wasted on water absorption that's just going to lead to nowhere. Don't be charmed by companies who will say, oh, it's broadband, so this excessive wavelengths are going to give you rejuvenation. That's exactly what we have the 1550 for. What you want is the handpiece to deliver what it's meant to deliver. So if you want it to treat rosacea, you want the handpiece to treat rosacea. Okay? If you want to treat sun damage, you want it to treat sun damage. We already have the handpiece, which is the 1550, for the sole purpose of rejuvenation. What we have here is we have a beautiful patient who just has a little bit of sun damage. Okay? Photo damage, sunspots, whatever you want to call it. But in essence, what we have is lots of sunspots. Okay, can I ask, do you like the sun and a bit tanned maybe? Or?
No, not at all. I'm very white.
Okay, all right. So what will you going to be using here? What will you be using? Remember, brown spots, predominantly 555. 555. If it was just redness, rosacea, we will use the 530. Okay, 555. Okay, so here what we are going to be treating is going to be treating essentially photo damage or sun damage. So we're going to be using the 555, which is, as I said, is a very good wavelength to start with the brown, and after a few sessions when that is clear and if we want, for example, to treat a little bit of that rosy cheeks, we can then move over to the 530. But we will start with the 555 first. Here, we'll put a thin layer of the gel. We'll do a shot. I always like to just ask if it's very painful, then obviously I'm going to go down, which, in most cases, that's not the case.